So today's video is on my kitchen days when we basically had to save the day after the sous chef became a crybaby. So basically what happens is we would normally cater for weddings, all kinds of parties, birthday parties, sweet 16s, weddings, random parties, whatever. Um, and this day there was a small party going on. Majority of the stuff that we needed to be done was already prepped and just had to be thrown in the oven. And there was another party or two for the next few days. So there was other work that needed to be prepped or whatever. So uh, it's us and this sous chef. It's me and a young lady, and the sous chef at the time, who was kind of an emotional, all over the place kind of guy. And basically, what happens? We come in, we ask him if he needs any assistance for the party. He tells us, "No, no, no, I got it all, man. I got it all. You two focus on the party for tomorrow, and all I gotta do is just throw some stuff in the oven." So we're like, okay, so we go on the list, the prep list. If you ever worked in the kitchen, you know you generally get like a prep list or whatever from your executive chef, sous chef, or whatever, and it's stuff that you gotta knock out or whatever. So we're over there knocking stuff out, me and the other cook, and we think everything is rolling smooth sailing. We're not totally paying all the attention to this guy, but he's also on the phone and like talking about random conversations and whatsoever. Like not totally paying attention, but he's supposed to be the sous chef, second in command. So he's putting stuff in the oven, but he forgets to do vegetables and forgets to do the fish. So we had salmon with uh, breadcrumb crust on top with herbs and seasonings, da 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 da, and needed a sauce. Uh, like I said, he's not really paying attention. So he he puts all the other stuff in the oven, sends it out, but then waitstaff comes in and goes, "Where's the fish?" He now makes a face like, "Oh my God, whoa, 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 whoa," like as if he had to go out and grab the fish out the water or some shit. So now at the last minute, this fool goes, takes it out of the refrigerator where the fish is basically cold. It's like, partially cooked, but it's still cold. So it would need to be in the oven for a lot more time than was needed. So basically, he throws it in the oven, throws it at a high heat, right? Thinking somehow that's supposed to help. I mean, but what ended up happening is he sends out the first. The top of it looks cooked, but the middle of the shit's raw, right? Keeps the other ones in the oven. He sends it out. About 5 minutes later, head of the front of the house comes in. She takes the pan, brah, throws it at him, saying, "What the is this?" He goes, "What do you mean?" She's like, "It's raw in the middle. It's raw in the middle. I can't feed this to nobody. What the is going on?" Blah, 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 blah. We hear this because we're like in the back part prepping, right? Like, okay. So after that, next thing I hear is some crying. So I'm like, what's going on? The kitchen atmosphere is a little bit more of like, a thicker skin, more aggressive men and women dealing with, the stuff of the kitchen. I hear crying. The homegirl that's working with, she hears crying. We're like, what the hell? So we go turn around. This fool is in the chef's office, locked in there, crying to his wife, boo-hooing like a little girl, a little boy, whatever you want to put it. He's in there crying. "She yelled at me about the fish. I don't know what I'm going to do, no." And his wife's on the phone consoling him, like, "Oh, don't worry, it'll be all right. That mean lady." It was ridiculous. Because she's on speaker. They're talking back and forth. This shit was pathetic. So we asked what happened, because we asked one of the waiters. They said, "Oh, he sent out one thing of fish that looked cooked on the top but was raw in the middle." So he put that back in the oven. But now he's been in the office crying for a while. So now me and her go in the oven and we get the fish out. Now a lot of these fish, the middle is done, but the top is seared because he's in there crying like a little whatever you want to call it. And So now me and her basically have to MacGyver all this fish. We sent the one out that was a little raw in the middle because now that's fully cooked, but it was out there so it wasn't as long as the other ones. But the rest of them are seared, so now we got to get the top part of the breadcrumbs is seared, but the fish is salvageable. So now we have to find a way to reapply the herb, breadcrumbs and everything like that to make it look nice. So now me and her are over here MacGyvering a bunch of fish, steaming off the vegetables, all the stuff this man was supposed to be doing because he's the sous chef, and he's supposed to be so well equipped on his skills or whatever. But whatever. So me and her MacGyver it, put the sauce on it, make the vegetables, and save the day. The entirety of the time, he's in there crying like a little girl to his wife. Oh, she yelled at me. Oh my God. He sounded like a sheltered kid that grew up in the suburbs that got called a name for the first time. It was ridiculous. Mind you, this is a grown man. A grown man that had worked in supposedly multiple restaurants, high-end restaurants supposedly, and everything. And he's in there crying. Crying like a little girl, little boy, I don't know. But, yeah, so that was the story. We had to MacGyver all this food. And while he was in there for a steady 40 minutes, an hour or something, crying, bawling his eyes out I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing I had to deal with in the kitchen days. But yeah, so that's the story of the crying sous chef. Crying to his wife like she's his mommy. About the big bad lady from the front of the house is yelling at me because I sent out raw fish. And then me and the other person who were just cooks, who were skilled, aren't sous chefs, right? He went to culinary school. We learned from watching and were taught by people. And we had to save the day. But that's the story for today. We're going to look out for more stories and check out the Adventures of Apollo too. All right, peace.